Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for February 28, 2024. And in the news this evening, man pleads guilty to shooting death of 2-year-old in Trelawney. Almost a year after he fatally shot 2-year-old Adrian Campbell in Clarkstown, Trelawney, 20-year-old Anthony Finley is to be sentenced for the crime. Finley pleaded guilty to the charges of murder, shooting with intent, and making use of a firearm to commit a felony in relation to the March 12, 2023 incident when he appeared in the Trelawney Circuit Court on Tuesday. He is to be sentenced on March 11. It is reported that about 7:50 p.m. on the day in question, the child was seated in the back of a car while the owner of the vehicle was in the driver's seat. Finley, armed with a handgun, walked up to the driver's window and fired at the man with whom he had a dispute. But the man drove off, resulting in the shot missing him and hitting little Adrian. The child was pronounced dead at hospital. Finley fled the area. He was later found hiding at the back of a gas station in Duncans. Under caution, he admitted to the shooting and lamented that Adrian was not his target. Triple murder at West Marland bar believed to be gang-related, says police. Assistant Commissioner of Police Clifford Chambers says he believes Wednesday morning's triple murder in Frome, Westmoreland is gang-affiliated, indicating that one of the victims is known by the police. Chambers said the killings were supposedly as a result of a feud between warring factions. The information that we have had so far, which has so far been confirmed, is that this is the continuation of a gang dispute involving two of the major gangs which operate in Westmoreland, ACP Chambers confirmed. The victims have been identified as 54-year-old broom vendor Everall Rowe, who lived across from the bar, and Kemar Smith and Andre MacDonald, both of Gullybanks in Savannah Lamar in the parish. One of the persons who had been killed is a person who is known to the police and has been the subject of a major police operation. In fact, he has since been arrested and charged and was reporting on condition of bail he shared. The top cop also confirmed that another of the victims was involved in lottery scamming. The other person is a known lottery scammer, and both are associated with a particular gang in Westmoreland that is in conflict with another, ACP Chambers told the news, while noting he deliberately chose not to name the warring gangs. Meanwhile, he said the Frome area has been problematic. This area where the incident happened is also an area of concern and has been an area that the police are giving a lot of attention to. He took the opportunity to appeal to the public to come forward with any information that could help the police in solving Wednesday's bloody murder and the shooting. 7 persons, including a female, were shot at a party being held at a bar. 3 persons succumbed to their injuries. Killer in Simone Campbell Korts' murder reportedly offered $2 million, court told. One of Simone Campbell Korts' killers was reportedly offered $2 million to carry out the hit. Wade Blackwood, a self-confessed member of the unruly gang, this morning testified that he was told by the other shooter, Jim, who he said was the don for the gang. The 32-year-old businesswoman and the taxi driver, Winston Walters, 36, were fatally shot outside her apartment complex in Red Hills, St. Andrew on January 2, 2018 by 2 men. Blackwood was one of 2 men who were seen spraying bullets into the taxi with the 2 aboard. The murder convict who pleaded guilty to the killings is currently serving 2 life sentences. He will be eligible for parole after serving 35 years. Blackwood, when asked about the murder this morning in court, he maintained that he was forced to carry out the killing by Jim. He said Jim told him that he would have to carry out the woman's murder as payment for a gun that the police had taken from his brother. Jim said my brother get hold with a gun for him, and for me pay me have to murder a woman. Jim said I get $2 million, but me not get no money. But I just kill a lady and they debt her the money. And if me not do it, him go kill me or my mother, Blackwood testified. According to the witness, he did not say anything as he felt he did not have a choice. Blackwood said he was told this on the morning of Campbell Korts' murder. He said when Jim came to inform him and delivered a Glock 26 gun, co-defendants Dwayne Pink and Michael Adams were present. Both men are charged along with the woman's husband, Omar Collymore, and Shaquille Edwards for the murders. According to Blackwood, Adams was the contractor killer, and one morning, after getting a phone call, he told them that the man who gave him the contract just told him to come by the house now as the woman was about to leave. The witness said the first meeting was the day before the shooting. Walters was transporting Campbell Collymore to her Forest Ridge, St. Andrew home when on reaching her gate, they were attacked and fatally cut down in a hail of bullets by two men on motorcycles on January 2, 2018. A post-mortem revealed that Campbell Collymore was shot 19 times and died from multiple gunshot wounds to the chest and abdomen, with injuries to the lung, liver, and the right kidney. Walters was shot 5 times and died from a gunshot wound to the head. The killing was captured on closed-circuit television, one of the factors that nudged Blackwood to plead guilty. Video recordings and still images showed Blackwood approaching the front passenger side of the vehicle and firing into it, court documents from the case revealed. PNP's Winter McIntosh declared winner of Chester Castle Division in Hanover following a recount. The People's National Party's Winter McIntosh has been declared the winner of the Chester Castle Division in Hanover Eastern following the official counting of ballots from Monday's local government election. Initially, the preliminary count showed that the Jamaica Labour Party's Kadeen Miles Campbell, a retired educator, received 1,115 votes to 1,098 by McIntosh, a lecturer at the Nakalva Polytechnic College. A final count of the 27 boxes was conducted by returning officer Hermina Buckner and her team at the Sandy Bay Community Center on Tuesday, which showed that McIntosh received a tally of 1,195 votes to Miles Campbell's 1,014. McIntosh was therefore declared winner of the division. The result would mean that if there is no further change following the other recounts in the parish, the PNP would have won all 7 divisions in the Hanover Municipal Corporation, 4 in Hanover Western and 3 in Hanover Eastern, giving that party full control of the local authority. Final count completed in 87 divisions so far, says EOJ. The Electoral Office of Jamaica is reporting that it has so far completed the final counting of ballots in 80 of the 228 electoral divisions from Monday's local government elections. The EOJ says that the exercise was completed yesterday. The final counting in the other divisions remains ongoing. The EOJ explains that there are 2 phases to the counting process, the preliminary count and the final count. Just over 2 million persons were eligible to vote. A total of 499 candidates were nominated. The preliminary voter turnout was 29.6%. In 2016, the turnout was 30.06%. Voter intimidation linked to family feuds. Election watchdog Citizens Action for Free and Fair Elections has disclosed that the 7 reported cases of voter intimidation during the local government polls on Monday, based on its investigations, were domestic feuds between family members on different sides of the political divide. According to Grace Baston, chair of CAFE, the disputes which were quelled by members of the security forces who were on hand did not materially affect the vote. Most of the intimidation incidents were really domestic disputes between family members outside the polling stations, and that caused some disruption, Baston told the news on Tuesday. She said during those flare-ups, no voter was being discouraged from voting or being handed propaganda. None of that was going on in the incidents, which were reportedly domestic matters. 2 people, a husband and a wife, 2 siblings who supported different parties, being noisy in the polling station, but within minutes they were resolved, she told the news. CAFE, in a preliminary report issued at midday after the start of voting on Monday morning, had said approximately 8% of polling stations observed reported some disruption in the voting proceedings, and that there were 7 reported cases of intimidation of voters, but no incident of violent conduct. Baston, in the meantime, said CAFE is yet to ascertain what caused the reported disruptions in voting proceedings. We have not done these investigations yet, but we will endeavor to get the details for the final report, Baston said. She said a cafe will be producing a final report within a month's time on the local polls. As soon as the board meets, we will be discussing any recommendations we might want to make, but those have not been formulated as yet. We usually issue the final report within a month. We used to in the past issue a printed, bound report, but I think this time it will be an e-document. We should be able to do that in a month's time, she said. Meanwhile, Baston on Monday complained that a number of cafe's observers were prevented from witnessing the final count of ballots at the polling stations, said the Electoral Office of Jamaica, which has promised to meet with the organization on its concerns, is yet to reach out. I too heard that the EOJ wanted to initiate that meeting. We have not yet been contacted. I imagine Mr. Brown, Director of Elections at Glasswell Brown, is very busy, she said. CAFE on Monday deployed 38 non-partisan roving observers and 339 indoor observers to polling stations covering all 14 parishes in the island. In the statement, issued some minutes after 8 p.m. Monday, the watchdog group said in 11% of polling stations reported on, observers were not permitted to monitor the final count. CAFE said even while it congratulated EOJ for the effective organization of the local government elections, it remains concerned that officials in the electoral system continue to place obstacles in the way of its ability to fully monitor and report on the conduct of the elections. Many of our volunteers were ejected from polling stations throughout the day or placed in positions where they could not effectively observe what was taking place, CAFE complained. It, however, said from what its official observed, the voting and the counting process for the balance of the election day proceeded with normality. No incidents observed materially affected the results of the elections. The elections were conducted freely and transparently, the organization said. Since being founded in 1997, CAFE has monitored the general elections of 1997, 2002, 2007, 2011, 2016, and 2020, the local government elections of 1998, 2003, 2007, 2012, and 2016, as well as several by-elections and reruns.